Hello guys, Miley Galaxy Boy here. Today we're back with the higher lower series, and we'll be going back to the geography section. So, including this episode, we're going to have 2 more on this, and next up we have land border countries. Guess which country has a longer land border? Let's go to leaderboard, and we need to get at least 8. I think this is going to be kind of easy, I feel like, hopefully. So what has a longer land border? Togo or Republic of the Congo? Well, Republic of the Congo, I'm pretty sure is a lot bigger, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, there we go. We got score of 1. Next one, we have San Marino, Republic of the Congo, probably. There we go. Score of 2. And then we have Paraguay. Again, San Marino's way too small. There we go. Score 3. And then we have Finland. Where does Finland rank? It's like, it doesn't border the water that much, actually. But, like, it borders Russia, Sweden, and I think a little bit of Norway at the top. And that's kind of a lot, actually. You know what? I'm going to go with Finland. Okay, never mind. Europe is actually kind of small. I think that's why. Somalia or Switzerland? Somalia is pretty big. So, probably that. Okay, kind of close, though. Not super close, but yeah. Niger. I think, you know, let's go with Niger. Okay, Niger, a lot more, actually. And then Egypt, I think it borders a little bit of water at the top and on, like, the side. So I'm going to go with Niger. There we go. Score of 3. And then Ecuador. Well, Ecuador, I think, borders it on the left, like the water. But everything on every other side basically borders some land. Mainly Peru and I think Colombia. Egypt is kind of big. You know, I'm going to go with Egypt. I feel like, yeah, Ecuador is kind of small. 2010. And then we have Ukraine. Ukraine, I think it actually kind of just borders a lot of water. I don't think it borders that much, but borders a bit more on like other areas. I'm gonna go with Ukraine still. There we go. It still borders a lot of land. And then Latvia is just too small, I think. There we go. Ukraine borders more. Uzbekistan, probably bigger than Latvia, so I'm gonna go with that. Score 7. Okay, I think it was just score 8 we needed, so I'm gonna try to get 9. Cyprus doesn't border any. Okay, I guess it does a little bit. I think there's like a little bit of a territory somewhere on Cyprus that it borders. Gabon, probably more. There we go. Score 9. I think we're already in the top 100, so after this we can move on. San Marino's too small. There we go. 39. And then we have Cambodia. Cambodia probably borders more, obviously. There we go. Score 11. And then next up, I'm going to go with Cambodia again, just because Lebanon's pretty small. There we go. Score 12. And then Albania, maybe? Okay, actually not much still. Score 13. And then France, obviously. Score 14. And then we have Libya. They're both pretty big, I feel like, but I think Libya's bigger. There we go. Score 15. And then next up we have, let's go with Libya again. There we go. Score 16. And then Chile. It's very long. A lot of it borders the water, but it's also like super long and borders a lot of other countries. Now I'm gonna go with Chile for this one. 6,000. There we go, yeah. And Germany, Europe's kind of small. I'm just gonna go with Chile. There we go. 18. And then Germany's just too big. So like Germany's obviously gonna have more. And then probably Cameroon. There we go. And then score 20. We're actually doing pretty good. Zambia or Cameroon. I'm gonna go with Zambia, actually. Okay, there we go. Score 21. Montenegro's in Europe, which is pretty small. There we go. Score 22. And then we have Bolivia, which I'm gonna go with that. There we go. Score 23. And then I'm gonna go with Bolivia again. There we go. Score 24. And then next up we have Brazil, our biggest yet. And then I'm gonna go with Brazil again. There we go. Score 26. And then we have, I'm gonna go with Mauritania, maybe? Nope, we failed. So let's see where we rank. So we are ranked 20. I think this might be our highest placement yet, actually. So that's pretty good. And if we got a little bit more, we could get in the top 10. Wait, if we just got like 5 more, we would rank in the top 10, which is actually kind of crazy. I'm just going to stop there for land border just because we already got in the top 100 and I think that's good enough. Let's do coastline. Guess which country has a longer coastline? So for the leaderboard, we need to get 10. So a little bit more. If guessing the land border was easy, I feel like guessing the coastline should also be pretty easy. I'm gonna go with India just because it borders a lot of water. There we go. So we're not guessing how much it borders the land, we're guessing how much it borders the water. I think Chile borders about as much water as it does land. Okay, never mind. Borders a lot of water. I'm gonna go with Ireland for this one just because Djibouti's kind of small. There we go. Score 1. And then we have Spain or Ireland. I'm gonna go with, it's kind of difficult because they're both like, Spain's really big, but it also borders a lot of land. It borders Portugal, but like also borders Andorra and a bit of France, I think. You know, I'm gonna go with Spain actually just because, yeah, it's kind of big and I'm pretty sure it borders a lot of water. So Venezuela or Spain? I'm gonna try Spain again. There we go, score 3. Then we have Madagascar, which all borders water, so there we go, almost 10,000. It was so close. I'm gonna go Madagascar again because Poland kind of just borders water at the top. Yeah, it doesn't border that much water. And then we have Estonia. It's kind of difficult actually, I feel like. Estonia is not super big, but it borders, I feel like it borders a lot of water as well. But like, it doesn't border at the bottom because it borders Latvia and it borders Russia to the east. I don't think it actually borders that much water. Okay, never mind. Let's give it another attempt. So Philippines or Guatemala, what do we go with? I'm gonna go with Philippines just because it's really big. There we go. Guatemala, not much actually. And then let's go with Mexico. Does border a lot of water actually. And Philippines is basically just islands. So what do we go with? I'm gonna try Mexico. Okay, not as much. So let's give it maybe one more attempt. Okay, Venezuela, just because it's a lot bigger. There we go. And then next up, we have South Korea. It kind of all borders water except to the north, because obviously North Korea. So what do we go with? I feel like Venezuela is just a lot bigger though. Okay, never mind. Not even close. So let's give it... Okay, let's give it actually like one more attempt since we only got one there. So Togo or Liberia, which they look kind of similar to each other now I think about it. It's like both stripes and a box at the top left with a star. But what do I go with? Let's go with... trying to picture them on a map. Togo barely borders any water actually. Liberia I think borders a little bit more, so yeah. 842. 53, so yeah, not too much actually. Democratic Republic of the Congo, I think barely on the west side a little bit, but I'm gonna go with it. It's really big, but it borders a lot of land. Okay, yeah, I knew it barely bordered any, but I was thinking maybe it could have bordered more, but no, it doesn't. I know I said I would give it one more attempt last time, but since I only got one there again, we're gonna do actually one more. So starting off, let's go with Japan. There we go. And Georgia barely borders any water. And then next up, I'm gonna go with Japan again because it's basically just islands. And then next up, Turkey or Djibouti. I'm gonna go Turkey because it's really big and I knew it borders a lot of water like that. India is also really big. I think it borders more. There we go. Score 4. Can we beat 5? That's my goal now. And to get in the top 100. But Malaysia also borders a lot of water, but it also borders Indonesia a lot, I feel like. I'm gonna go with India still. Okay, that was a good choice. So we tied with 5 so far. Australia, definitely. There we go, score 6. That's like one of the biggest like island countries. I think the biggest one actually, yeah. So again, obviously it's gonna be Australia. And then we have an island country off the side of Africa. But is it bigger than Nicaragua? Like, is there more coastline? Or is there less coastline? I'm gonna go with... which one do I go with? I'm gonna go with Nicaragua, actually. Yeah, I knew it, because it's kind of small. So, next up, Kiribati. Does it have more? It's a lot more spread out, I know that, but are they big? I don't think they're super big, but just because there's a lot of islands, I think I'm gonna say more. Okay, there we go. Score of 9. And then we have United Kingdom. Pretty big. So, I'm gonna just go with United Kingdom. There we go. Score 10. If we get one more, we're officially in the top 100. I'm gonna go with the United Kingdom again. Okay, we are officially in the top 100 again. So we actually are doing good this time. And now I'll go with... I'm gonna go with Estonia. Yeah, 27 for Jordan. Not much. South Korea has to have more. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go with South Korea again. There we go. Score 14. And then I'm gonna go... The Gambia actually doesn't border... Like, it doesn't have that much coastline, I feel like. But Seychelles also doesn't have that much coastline. I'm gonna go with Seychelles, though. Yeah, 503 for Gambia. And then I'm gonna go this place, maybe. Yeah, 620. And then I'm gonna go... Bahamas, is it big, or... Can you see the islands of Bahamas? I feel like you can. I'm gonna go with Bahamas, actually. A lot of coastline for Bahamas. A lot more than I thought, actually. I'm gonna go with Bahamas again. There we go. Score 18. And then Argentina, maybe. There we go. Score 19. And then Puerto Rico. Does Puerto Rico border a lot? Or, like, is there a lot of coastline? I don't think as much as Argentina. Yeah, not even close. Score 20. And then Guatemala, was it less than 1,000 or more than 1,000? I feel like it was a little bit more. Okay, never mind. I was probably thinking of something different. We got score of 20, though. So that puts us at 42nd. Okay, 2 more for today, and then we'll stop. So, richest countries. So, let's get started. Guess which country is the richest. So, let's check the leaderboard. And we need to get 30. I don't think we're getting in this one. So, what's richer out of these 2 countries right here? Could it be Albania? Maybe? You know, I'm going to go with Albania because I feel like... I'm just going to try it. Let's see how it is. 22,000. 3,000. There we go. Okay, what's next? Let's just say Albania or Laos. Which one's richer? I'm going to go with Albania again, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Score 2. And then... I'm kind of just guessing for these. I'm going to go with Laos here. Yeah, Samoa, not too much. Which one do we go with? Samoa? I don't know. I don't think it's Samoa, if I had to guess. Yeah, Samoa's not, like, as high. Probably China for this. Yeah, much more. And then Monaco. Monaco, I'm pretty sure, is, like, pretty rich there, but I don't think it's as rich. Yeah, there we go. Not even close. Czech Republic probably has more. There we go. And then we have Armenia. I'm going to go Czech Republic again. There we go. Then we have Finland. I'm going to go with Finland. There we go. You know, I think we're just going to do one attempt since we're already getting pretty far. Probably Russia, right? Yeah. Not even close. And then I'm going to go with Russia again. Yeah, pretty high as well, but I didn't think it would be as high. I'm going to go with Pakistan. There we go. We got score of 12. If we get into the top 100, that'd be crazy. Equatorial Guinea or Chad? I'm going to go with Chad. Okay, that was actually really close, but yeah, we barely got it. Probably Portugal. There we go. 14. And then we have Spain. We got 2 countries that border each other. The only country that Portugal borders is Spain. So, yeah, I feel like Spain would have more, if I had to guess, like that. And then UAE. I'm pretty sure it is kind of rich there, but is it this much? You know, I'm going to say no. Yeah, it's pretty rich there, though, actually. And then Honduras, I'm going to say no. There we go. Like that. And now we have Greenland. And Greenland, it's a territory, I think, owned by Denmark. So, what do we go with? Greenland's pretty big as well, but it's a territory, and I don't know if there's, like, I don't think there's that much there. It's mainly just ice. I'm going to go with Greenland still. Okay, not even close. I thought maybe because it was, like, a territory of, like, Denmark, and because really big, and there might be some rich areas there and stuff, but not super rich compared to other places. Still richer than some other spots, though, that we got. Like, I think Armenia was cheaper. I'm going to just stop there for that one, just because we already did really good. I didn't think we were going to end in the top 100. I still don't think we would, even if we continued. So, we're just going to continue on. And finally, for today, we have richest U.S. states. So, to get in the top 100, we need to get 3. Okay, if we get 4, then we'll be in the top 100. It could be difficult, though. I'm going to start with Pennsylvania. I feel like Pennsylvania would be Okay, never mind. Connecticut's more rich than Pennsylvania. I didn't actually expect that. So yeah, let's try again. Michigan or South Dakota? Let's try Michigan. Okay. Again, I failed. So I guess, how am I failing this? I feel like that's very unexpected, like the results. So let's try again. Okay, this one has to be New York, right? Okay, finally, we got score of 1. New York or Pennsylvania? New York, definitely. There we go, score 2. And it's gone. So Nevada or Pennsylvania? Nevada has some big cities like Las Vegas, but Pennsylvania has Philadelphia. I'm gonna go with Pennsylvania for this one, actually. There we go, score 3. And then we have South Carolina. South Carolina, I can't really think of any super big cities. I guess the capital, is that the biggest one though? I don't know, I can't really think of big cities in South Carolina, so I'm gonna go with Nevada. There we go, score 4. We're already in the top 100 now. I'm gonna go with New Jersey, maybe. There we go. And then, give me a big one. Okay, I don't think Iowa is higher. It's pretty high though compared to some other states. It's like basically the same as Pennsylvania. Wisconsin. These two states are very close to each other, but which one's richer? I'm gonna go with Wisconsin, actually. Okay, never mind. Where do we rank from this? Probably not super high. Let's try again, though. I'll give it one more attempt, so I'm gonna go with New Jersey for this. There we go. We got a score of 1. And then we have District of Columbia. So, Washington, D.C., basically. Is that richer? It is the capital of the country, so, I'll give it a shot. There we go, 240,000. That might be the richest, maybe. The only other competitor I can think of, well, there's California, Texas, there maybe Florida. Maybe they can compete with it, but I don't know, we'll see. Next up, we have Nebraska. I don't think it's that high. Yeah, not even close. More than New Jersey, though, and Pennsylvania, and yeah, it's kind of surprising, actually. Which one do we go with? Wyoming's, like, it's big, but not a lot of people live there. I'm gonna go with Nebraska. Okay, that's, like, insanely close. I'm pretty sure Wyoming had more. Yeah, there we go. We got score 5. Can we beat 6 this time? I'm gonna go with Louisiana. Okay, never mind. We can't beat our score. So, where do we rank, though? 51st. We almost got into the top 50. Well, we technically share it with a lot of other spots. So technically we are, how many scores are higher? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're technically 14th place because we are tied with a lot of others at 14th. But yeah, I'm going to end the episode there. So this is probably a lot shorter than some of my other episodes, but we got through the games pretty quick, and I don't think we're going to do the other 4 today. We'll save that for the next episode, and then we'll probably move on to another one of these after we do those next 4. But yeah, I'm going to end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when another video comes out. Leave a like if you like the video. You obviously don't have to do all if you don't want to, but if you want to, you can. I'm trying to get to 1.2K eventually, and yeah, that's all. Bye.